Good morning, everybody. I'm making a short video today to support you with some of our trickier 3-star questions today. And in order to answer some of our 3-star questions today, I'm going to teach you a quicker and more efficient method for division, which is a written method, which we call the bus stop method. A little bit like a bus stop is the symbol that we use, hence why we call it the bus stop method. Now, I'm going to talk you through some examples. Once you've learned how to do the method, it really is quite straightforward, but learning the steps into it are crucial, and it's crucial we get them in the right order. Now, we've got really good understanding of division as grouping and sharing. We've got really good understanding of place value, as in this 5 in this number here we know represents 5 tens because of where it is in the number, and we know this one represents 5 ones because of where it is in the number. So we know that this number is 55. Because of all this, I think it's time that we can use this method, this bus stop method, for our division. So we're going to look at the first one. 55 divided by 5. With your bus stop method, the first thing you do is you draw a very simple bus stop shape. Oh, that one's a bit wonky. A bit of a curve there and a straight line. Now inside your bus stop, you put your large number. The first number in your division calculation goes inside your bus stop. Your number that you're dividing by, so in this case number 5, goes outside the bus stop. With division, a written method for division, it's the only method that breaks the rules because we don't start with the ones. We start with our tens number first. So how many groups of 5 in 5? There are 1. How many groups of 5 in 5? 1. So 55 divided by 5 equals 11. Right, our next question. 68 divided by 2. You can see again, our large number at the start of our division calculation sits happily and snugly inside the bus stop. The number that we're dividing into, so into groups of 2, or shared between 2, goes outside the bus stop. And then we ask ourselves the same question. So how many groups of 2 in 6? 2, 4, 6. So I know there are 3 groups of 2 in 6. Now I'm going to move on to my ones. How many groups of 2 in 8? So 2, 4, 6, 8. 4 groups of 2 in 8. So I've still divided my 68 by 2. I've worked out how many groups of 2 in the 6 and how many groups of 2 in the 8. And my answer is 34. So 68 divided by 2 equals 34. The last one I'm going to show you is a little bit more complicated. So 95 divided by 5. I've put 95 in my bus stop, and I'm going to put my number 5 here because that's what I'm dividing it into. Now, how many groups of 5 in 9? There's 1 group of 5 in 9, but then there's 4 left over because we know 5 add 4 equals 9. So there's 1 group of 5 in 9, but we've got 4 left over. So we put our 1 group of 5 there, and we put our 4 over here to make this the number 45. The next thing we want to work out is how many groups of 5 are there in 45. We know this is 45 because we know these were tens. So there's 5 tens and 4 tens in 9. We've carried the 4 across. So groups of 5 in 45. So you can count up in your 5s up to 45, or you might just know that there are 9 groups of 5 in 45. So that would be a 9. Okay? So the answer to 95 divided by 5 is 19. Have a look at this video a couple of times before we start our live lesson today if you think you want to challenge yourself and stretch yourselves in the lesson. These questions are going to be optional, so there's no need for you to have to understand this method if you don't feel comfortable with it. But if you feel like you're ready for the next challenge and your division is secure, then have a go and let's see how we get on today. Thank you. See you soon.